So speaking of witch hunt, Steve Mnuchin has denied a request from Congress. Richard Neal, a Democrat of Massachusetts, chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee, Mr. Neal has been asking for Donald Trump's tax returns. Not a big story here. This is a big story. I mean, this is gonna go to court. You have Mnuchin responding that the request lacks a legitimate legislative purpose. Now, that is an interesting response, since there is in no way do you need that legitimate purpose. That's just the fact. There is a statute that says Congress can request for any reason the taxes of an individual. So they have power to do this. It's just the law. But this will go. I imagine this might go to the Supreme Court.
Okay, I was staying in this position because we didn't want things to go off the rails. Okay, like I was leaking to the press that Donald Trump was actually an unstable wannabe dictator, and people said that I was staying in power just to reward myself money and corrupt deals from my own position. But what I was really doing was protecting democracy. Okay. Oh, his tax returns? No.
Yeah, remember the guy that was wrote that New York Times op-ed about how he's a mole inside the Trump White House and is protecting them from the...
Yes, I do remember that. Actually incredibly undemocratic. Like the one person that Donald Trump actually should drum out of the White House.
Is it maybe time for the New York Times to explain what was going on with that?
Yeah, maybe.
What, the op-ed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're just hoping everyone was going to forget and move on, which we did.
But exactly. But do you remember specifically the story was that Steve Mnuchin and Gary Cohn and Mattis, right? They had this pact.
Yeah.
Right? So Cohen...
Why you would invite Mnuchin in on that pact if you're the other guys?
I mean, that's the thing, right? I mean, one is almost certainly a war criminal. The other is like a Goldman Sachs guy, but at least they're like quasi-credible people, right? I mean, Mnuchin is not. Yeah. Mnuchin should be in jail if not for Kamala Harris choosing not to prosecute him. Right. Like, that story, I mean, the rounds of just like blatant, like, it was like they got together and they said, how about we all leak that we have public values together? Like, how about we all cover each other in a PR sense while we do nothing about this?
There's no doubt in my mind they did that in the moment. It's really just like that they don't they just didn't. They just basically say, yeah, fuck, F it. I mean, we had that agreement, but let's screw it. We're done. I mean, whatever. That's
People
it.
change.
There you go.
Can't be rigid.
And this was the Teapot Dome. The law came out of the Teapot Dome. Oh, really? Yes.
Gonna bring that back.
What was the Teapot though?
It was like some Wyoming oil rights corruption scandal. Basically.
Yeah, it was like Mellon and some other guy, and I think Mellon was. I can't remember exactly what it was, but
it was a bribery scandal involving the administration of Warren G. Harding from 1921 to 1923.
I feel like the tax thing, maybe I'm mistaken, but I feel like that this law came out of that.
Warren G. Harding was totally unfairly targeted.
I saw somebody else make the point that the Republicans forced Acorn to give over those sorts of documents, and Grass is like, well, that was meaningful, and this is
It was about black people getting money for preschools and helping people register to vote. That was not about the President of the United States being a criminal.
There is
these goddamn comparisons.
Very, very, I think, strong argument to be made. And I haven't seen anybody make it explicitly. But there's a very strong argument to be made that the destruction of Acorn was very much responsible for losses in places like Wisconsin,
definitely,
and Michigan,
and no strategy,
Pennsylvania. Allowing that organization was a big organizer for people of low income, and You need to have resources, and you need to have these type of networks if you're going to bring people out to vote, at the very least.
And the Obama administration is just like, major network on behalf of poor people and our get out to vote efforts, or a video from an obscure, disturbed right-wing kid on them. Whoop! Shut it down.
I listened to the most recent
Should
Rubin
totally do
report.
that.
It's with James O'Keefe. Talking about the media, and that's still the feather in his cap. He's like, yeah, we got Obama and the Congress to take action on it.
It is a big feather in his cap.
Because they had to do something about acorn. Where
Yeah.
did they come up with that name? Did they like squirrels? No, that was just a joke.
Colin from an
Workshopping new
845.
material.
What was that? What was that? What was the we were saying before the show?
I have a theory that Dave Rubin is microdosed with LSD before every interview. That's why it blows his mind all
So
the
I
time.
suggest it's really where it's a Zoolander situation.
Zoolander.
And Dave is just if we ever get if we ever get Dennis Prager away from him, who's clearly the Will Ferrell character in this scenario, he'll just be like, I don't want to kill this. I don't want people to live in an ethno state. That's mean. We're all my old friends. No wonder Anna Kasparian hates me so much. Oh no! What have I done? You mean, I thought you meant like a state where everybody gets along and there's daycare for all the kids who come from
I
everywhere.
almost think you've literally just written a movie that could be a huge hit.